Hi everyone, my name is Mesuma Delight and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you how I recreated this ruffle detail maxi dress. It's actually easy. Okay, so I have a lacquer material here. This is 3 yards. It's actually lacquer material is actually stretchy at both sides. So the first thing I did is to fold my material into two, and I marked the full length of my gown. So right now I'm marking my shoulder. That's the division of my shoulder measurement. That's done. Now I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. So I'm just marking what I have. Connect it using a straight line. If you can't do this with your free hand, you can use a ruler. So next now to get is my half length. That's my shoulder to my waist. So I'm marking what I have. Alright, so now I'm going to connect it. Now for my hip line, I do get my hip line by going down by 9 inch from my half length. So for my half length, I went down my 9 inch. I'm going to use my ruler and I will connect it using a ruler. If you can't use your free hand, so use a ruler to do it. Okay. So at my chest line, I want to mark my shoulder measurement, that division of my shoulder measurement there. I did this so when connecting my armhole line, it wouldn't be bent or slanted. So that's done. Now time for my neckline. I'm working with 3 by 3. Connect them. Okay. Now at my armhole line, I will go down by 1 inch to create my shoulder slope. Now to get the division from my shoulder slope to my chest line, I will get the midpoint, make a mark there, go in by half of an inch, connect them. Shoulder slope to the midpoint and midpoint to my chest line. That's done. So now I'm going to add my measurements. I will divide by 4. Marking what I have there. Divide my waist by 4. Marking what I have there. Divide my hip by 4. And I also mark what I have there. Now I'm adding my 2-inch similar ones. I'm going to connect them. Now I'm marking what I have at my hip line. Okay, so I've pushed my material up so I can mark all the way down. So I'm going to use my hip measurement to go down, exactly my hip measurement to go all the way down. I'll connect it using a straight line. Make sure your material is equal to equal. Time to cut it out. Okay, I've gone ahead to cut it, and that's how it looks like. Now at my chest line, I want to go up. So I want to go up by 1.5. All right. Now connect using a straight line, and I'll cut it off. Now keep your yoke well, because it's important. We'll still use it, so you keep your yoke well. Don't throw it away. Just keep it well. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to fold our material into two again and cut out our back. So I place my front on, and I've cut out my back, like exactly what I have in the front. I cut it out. Now I'm going to minus as the back material. When I cut for the back, I'm going to minus that 1.5 inch because I don't want my back to be high. So minusing that 1.5 from my back measurement. So look at the front, it's higher than the back. That's the back, and that's the back right now. I'm touching, and this is the front. So if you notice, the front is higher than the back because I've already minus that 1.5 from the back. Okay, so I folded a piece of material into two. I want to get my strap, so I'm placing my yoke on top of it. Now the strap is going to be tied behind the neck, so I didn't actually measure what I'm using here, but this should be something like 20 and 18. So I'm marking out my armhole curve. I'm going in by 2 inch. Now I'll connect it from top to that curve, and that again from top to that curve. So I'm not using any measurements. I'm just using my free hand. Though if you want to do yours, you can use 1 inch for this. You can use 2 inches. All right. Okay, so I have here 7. The length of mine is 17. So now I'm going to round what I have. Okay, that's done. So now I want to recut it again for the other arm. So I'm going to recut what I have again. Exactly, no allowance, no adding of anything, just cut exactly what you have. So that's it, I've cut it. So now I'm going to sew the two sides, and I'm also going to stitch the top. Now I'm bringing in my front. I want to cut a lining for it. Okay, so I placed it on this material, on a piece of material. I didn't get exactly the length I'm using, but you can use like 4 or 5. I'm going to place my material on top of it, equal to equal. I'm going to cut around it. I'm going to cut around it without adding any extra. Just cut exactly what you have. Okay, so I'm going to cut the back now, placing the back on top just like we did for the front. Now we're going to cut around it. I'm going to nudge the center. I'm going to also notch the center of our back. So open it up, bring up our lining piece, place it the midpoint to midpoint and front to front. And I'm going to use my pin and hold it. Strap for the hand, whatever it's called. I stitched it up. I'm going to stitch it. Now for my strap, I've done the turn up. I've stitched the two sides and the up part, so I want to turn it over. Before I do that, make sure you make nudges at like around what you stitched. Iron the back and the front. That's at the place I did the turn up. That's at the neck. Also trim out the excessive if there is any excesses. So now I'm going to turn it up. Okay, so like turn it up. This is how it looks like. So I want to iron this piece I've cut. Now for my front, I mark the midpoint of my lining and the midpoint of my gown. Okay, front to front, midpoint to midpoint. Use my pin to hold those 2 points. Okay, now I'm get my strap and I'll place it. Just place like you see me. That curvy part goes to the part of your gown that has a curve. Do you see it? Now I'm going to turn it over. Okay. Use my pin to hold it. I'll equally use the same for the other side. Curvy part, curvy part. Okay. Turn it down so I can pin. So I'm going to stitch round and also close the armhole. I've done that. I'm removing the pins now. use my scissors to trim out the edges and make notches around it. Okay, so I've turned it up and this is how it looks like. So time to press it. Okay, so I've pressed it and this is how it is. So I want to top stitch. I'm going to top stitch around the neck and the armhole. I'll stitch the back round. So I've top stitched it and this is how it's looking. Now for my front, I'll fold it into two. Okay, I've marked out my measurements. After marking it out, I went ahead to shape it. So I've joined my back to my front. Now if you notice at the side there's kind of a ruched effect. That's because remember the back went down by 1.5, so I have to drag the back to be equal with the front, so that's what created that ruched effect at the armhole side. So now to get it has a slit. So for my half length, going down, I'll place my tape at my half length and I'll go down to the length I want the slit to start from. So I'm just marking that. Okay, so from the line I start shaping from, place your tape exactly at your stitch and I went in by 4. So don't mind this, my first curve, that's actually, so I'm just going to curve it from that line right now. That's my 30 and I went in by 4 inch. So I'm cleaning that mistake. So yeah, there's it. Make a curve, cut it. Alright, I've cut it and this is how it looks like. So time for my ruffles. So I got the center of my for my material. Here I have 1.5 inch yard, sorry. So I got the midpoint of that 1.5 and I'm making a circle. Divided my circle into 2. So now I want the size of my ruffles to be 3. So I'm marking 3. And connect it to make that division of your circle. Okay, so I'm going to go around with 3, kind of like going around, making a. So I'm going to keep going round and round until I exhaust this my 1.5. So it depends on how full you want your ruffles to be. That's if you want it to be very full, you can use more than 1.5 yards to do yours. So I'm just going round using 3 inch. So you just keep on doing this round and round and round. Okay, so like how it looks like after I'm done. So time to cut it. I'll cut it from that point. So from the end where it actually stopped, I'll cut round this material. So I've cut round and this is how it looks like. It looks like a flea. It's time to attach it to my. Okay, so this is my gown. I want to mark lines I want it's like my ruffles from the armhole. It's there, and I'll go by 6 from the other side. So that I'm going now by 6 is actually the part where I have slits. Going to drip at my slit side. So I'm marking 6 down that other point now, down at the other end. So I'll keep on doing once I reach the end of my material. This is actually the distance I want ruffle. So yours can be whatever you want it to be. It can be 4, 4, 4, 5, whatever, however you feel like you want yours to be. Okay, so I'm 6 and 6, connect them. So here I didn't measure anymore, so I'm down. I didn't measure the other end of my slit side. I'm just making 6 there, make it curve. Okay, so I'm all done. Now I want to attach my ruffles to my slits. So you fold the down part of your gown before you do this. So I'm placing my ruffles front. Okay, placing the front of my ruffles to the front of my material, that like that. Okay, and I'm going to use my pin and pin round, so this to make it easier for me to sew. So I'm going to pin it down. Okay, and I'll sew it round my slits. Okay, so I'm done sewing it, and how it looks like. Now attach my on those lines I created. So this can be because I've already like joined my back piece and my front piece together. So I'm getting the front, my ruffles, placing it front to front. So just do it like I did mine. Use a pin to hold it at that end. Now I will stitch it till I reach. You can use a pin to hold it on before going to the machine, whatever is easier for you. So you can use your pin to hold it on top of it. So after doing that, I'm going to like stitch it round. So I've done for all the lines. I actually stopped the line above my slit. Now at this other line, I don't want to sew reach there. So I want to like, I will stop at a certain part. You can call it like I stop like, let me say, inch away from my slit. So I want to like get the full length of my gown, like part. I'm trying to have my ruffle so I can get the full length of my gown, so I can trim that part off. Just cut out those excesses out of my ruffles. Okay, so now for stitch till the end of that. I won't reach the end, I will stop there. I'll reach the end of that, and this, so the next one I'll stop there, something like that. One full, one half, full, one half. So I'll go to my machine, I'll do that. So like this how it looks like. Drip all went to the drip of my ruffles all went to the side. I have my slits. Okay, so time for the back. Turning it over, I will mark same lines I did at the front. Now notice the my ruffles at the front. I actually didn't cut them like equal. I left like 2 inch. Like 2 inch. If you look, I see the ruffles there. I left like 2 inch. I didn't cut it exactly on the. I didn't cut it exactly cut. So right now I don't need my tape or any making marking the chalk at that part what I sewed before. I'm marking the chalk at the other end. Connect them. Marking that sewed. Mark the other end. So keep putting it like this to reach the end. And when you the end of your material, so you your ruffle just like I did to the front to front. At this down part, one will reach the end of your one wouldn't reach the end of your slit, one wouldn't of your slit. Doing it like that onto your free dress. So like this all fun of this. It's like easy to do. Okay. So this how it looks like. For this video, please kindly like and subscribe to my channel because it's going to encourage me to post more. To watching.